Casa Diary NonFiction. Here we go. I'm just gonna talk about stuff. Take a look at my home. This is home. I'm gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff. I just want you to see where it's coming from. We're in the Oak, Canada, British Columbia. Hope you enjoy all the stuff I make, tidbits of our life. Our life. Well, hello. This is Darren again. Darren Soldrinsky. I'm from Casa Diary NonFiction. And today I'm going to discuss a tool, privacy tool, anonymous, disposable, temporary email conversation. So it's a way for you to be able to use an email service to mimic Messenger, but totally private. So you're not having data collected. It's another way to do something, a tool to do something to communicate with someone or some people in a group session or someone privately. So I'm going to use a laptop and a phone as an example. They're going to communicate to each other or show you how they communicate to each other. So I'm going to call my laptop Darren laptop and my phone Darren phone. So when you hear me say that, I'm referencing the phone. So I only have one phone, so I'm going to pretend that the phone, when I get my messages for my, like I have a laptop and pretend there's a phone, and then I have my phone. Now I'm going to be two people, but normally what you would do is you could have friends. You could have friends or family, a group of people. So you don't have to, they'd be living in different countries or cities or whatever. Okay, let's do it. So basically what this is like I said, using a mail server. There's about 6 steps to the whole thing. If you look at what I've got here. So anonymous, disposable, temporary email conversation. If you look here, if you scroll down, there's about 6 steps. There's not really 6 steps, but approximately 6 steps. So it's very easy to use. Okay. Once you set up, getting going is like simple. But again, this is all about privacy. All right. So let's get to step 1. And again, step 1 is just a one-time install. So if you can get all your family and friends to do this install on their phones and or laptops or PCs, you only have to do this once, but you want to do this. Okay, so now I'm advocating the Tor browser. All right, so here's the link to it. If you go here, you'll find all the installation packages for a Mac, a Linux box, or Android phone. I'm using an Android phone and a Windows laptop, so that's why I'm showing you these guys. What basically happens is it'll ask you to download the APK for the phone and the exe install for the Windows laptop. But depending on what you're using, right, it would be something else. Anyhow, this is if you go to that link, which is the Tor project.org. If you go to that link, you'll see it right here. Basically, you can see right here, it's the Tor project download area, and you can have, and what you'll have is for Windows. Like for Windows, for OS X, for Linux and Android. This is the Tor browser, which allows you to hide your IP address. Your IP address is one of the easiest ways for them to identify your habits, your searches, your buys, where you're going, your Bitcoin, your wallet transactions, all that kind of stuff. Is one of the easiest ways for them to identify you. You're assigned an IP by your ISP service provider, right? And that is tracked all the way through the system. So if you can hide that, people don't know who you are. So Tor browser allows you to do that. All right, so the first thing you want is get everyone to go to this torproject.org and install on their phone or laptop or PC the Tor browser. Okay, that's the first thing you do, and they can do that at any point in time. Best to do it as soon as possible, so that way you're ready to go. So that's step one, right? Let's go back to. I'm gonna do it this way here. All right, so that is step one. Pretty straightforward, like I said. Get all your family and friends to do it. Anybody else that you know. Let's go to step two. So step two is when you bring up your browser, what you want to do is you want to just check the public IP. So when you bring up the Tor browser, you just want to make sure that the IP that's being displayed is not yours. And you'll know that because the location will be somewhere else, right? You know where you live. Your home address is, so you don't want to have the IP pointing to who you are at home, like where you are. Basically, it points to the ISP provider, and then where that location is, and then they can narrow it down to it being you. So when you start Tor, so let's go here as an example. I am going to, on the PC first, because you're looking at it up ahead here, we're going to bring Tor up. So if you see here, this is Tor. I'm just going to start this new, so it brings it on the first page. Oh, sorry. I'll do an about in here somewhere. So where is it? Find this page. Opens. New identity. Well, it is. I'm not sure why. This is Tor anyway. Let me just shut it down. Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. It is Tor. I don't know why it doesn't have an about in here. Let's see what help does. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there it is. You can see. So this is the Tor browser. It's 9.0.5. It's a 64-bit. You can have, I think you can get a 32-bit too if you have to. Most things are 64. Okay, so that is on my PC or my laptop, right? And now, what did I say in here? I said the first thing you want to do after you bring it up, regardless of what you do, the first thing you want to do is check your IP. So right here is the link, right? So this is, what is my public IP? You just make sure it's not you. Okay? And get everybody to do that. So when they start their Tor browser, whether it's on their phone or whether it's on the laptop or tablet or whatever, just run this site to make sure that your public IP is not, where you are. Okay. So again, going back here, you can see up here, this is the address, and it'll bring up this. Alrighty, so if you can see right here, that's my public IP that people see, and it's in Germany. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not in Germany. Okay, so I know this Tor browser on my laptop here is saying that I'm from Germany, and I'm not. Okay, let me show you my phone now. I'm going to come over here, show you that I do have it installed. Now this is a little clunky, but bear with me. I've got a camera pointing. I'm going to try to show you on my phone. Um, so here's my phone. Okay. So if you can see, if you see right about there, just see if I can get that close enough to you. See, it says Tor browser. So I have Tor browser installed. I'm just going to prove it to you. There's my apps. See, there's a Tor browser right there. If I go there, okay. So I do have my Tor browser, and it's installed on my Android phone. And that came from, like I said, the Tor project. Okay, so let's go all the way out. Okay, so you can see here, there's my icon. I'm just going to select it. Okay, you see what it's like right now? And what it's saying was, it's saying connect. So this is on my phone. And I'm going to push connect. So it's connecting to the Tor network. And again, like I said, this is my Android phone. It's a Moto phone, but any Android. Just so you know, the Android that worked for me was the ARM version. So there's a few different versions there, and I'll just show you in a minute when we go back. But there's one version I tried on this Android, it didn't work, so I had to go to the ARM version, and then it worked. Okay. All right, so it's bootstrapping. It's establishing a connection. This is on my phone, totally separate. It's not Wi-Fi. It's actually using my data. So using my data. But once you boot, usually it doesn't quite take this long. I think it's taken long because I didn't start my phone and it just everything's kind of waking up on it. Here we go. Oh, I've already put as a home page in here. I put it as a home page, my public IP, and it's going there right now. Right, so after you get it started, the first thing you want to do is go to that site. So you can see that I'm at that site. I put it in my Tor setup that would automatically go, and then okay, so here we go. Can you see that? Now if you see that, there's the public IP and it's Sweden. Well, I'll tell you again, I'm not in Sweden. Okay, so now I know that my phone and my laptop have Tor running, and they're saying that one's from Germany, I think it said there, yeah, and the other one is Sweden. Okay. Okay, so there you go for that. Now let me go back here now for a second. I wanted to go back to back to here because I wanted to show you. So, example, if you went to download for Android, you'll see here, like I was telling you about my phone. So when I tried installing this Arch or whatever 64 and then installing it, that didn't work for me. ARM worked for me, but there's some other versions of APKs there you can use. ARM's the one that worked for me, right? So I just wanted to let you know about that because I thought Tor wasn't going to work, but it actually worked fine. It just had to be the right version that you had to be installing. So like example right here, this is the version that worked for my phone, and again this Tor version is the Windows install, but you can do it on Linux and Mac as well, right? So okay, so we did step 1 and now we've done step 2. Basically we got Tor running on on our machines. And this is only a one-time deal for the install. Don't forget, it's only a one-time deal for the install. Checking your IPs every time you boot Tor. So I just put it as my home page. You know what I mean? So like when Tor comes up, first thing it does is just go there. And I think that's what I did over here actually. So let me just show you here as an example. I think that's exactly what I did on this one too. So in here, if you go to settings, where are we here? Options. I think it's options. Yeah. So home. See, on this home here. So basically, when I start this Tor up, then it'll just automatically go there. Same with my phone. And then that way you can just confirm it when it comes up. I'm going to quit this for a second, exit, and I'm going to bring a new one up for you. So here's an example. Okay, so here's a new one coming up, a new Tor coming up on my laptop, and it'll just automatically go to my public IP address. Just like my phone did. You saw that already, eh? Okay. See, it's just going right to what is my public IP right away. So that's what you want to do when you get Tor running. Is just make sure, right? And of course, every time you boot up, or you can change the identity on this thing. You can change the identity so it's something else. This time it's Netherlands. It was Germany on my laptop. Remember, now it's Netherlands. Okay, so that's really important. Basically, you're hiding your IP, and it's that simple. Just so you know, you can start browsing, and then nobody's gonna know you're from wherever you are, like where you live now. That's the magic of Tor. Okay, so now what we're going to do is step 3. Remember, there's only like 6 steps here altogether, so we're already halfway through. And the first one's just a one time anyway. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to do, when we start this process, there's an initiator. Let's say Darren Phone, which is, somebody, one of you, you could be you, or, a friend of yours, or a relative or something, wants to initiate a conversation, right? So step 3 is session initiator creates a timestamp. Okay, so this is what you want to do. Basically, your timestamp will look like this. So you've got like a year, month, day, hour, month, seconds to milliseconds. So if you took like March 1st as an example, and you broke it all down, you filled in the blanks right there. Now, the .s at the end is a fractional amount, so it could be 1 digit or 2. I always make it 2, which is milliseconds, fraction of milliseconds, not thousands. Okay, so it ends up coming up to this. If you take all the fluff out of it, right? And basically what you've done by creating this timestamp is you've created a unique identifier, like a unique number. That second will never happen again. It's already passed. It's not in the future, but it's already happened, right? So you pick the time and date right down to the milliseconds. It's for that to be mimicked by anybody else, the exact fraction to the millisecond, plus there's another piece that prefixes this, is almost impossible to create. Like I would say, plus, remember what I said here, this is disposable. So this is only a one-time use thing. So when you start this session, you'll never ever use this one again. You'll create a brand new one. So timestamps created for every session that you want to do. A totally new one, right? This is a session, and my Darren Phone is going to be the initiator. So, and I created, here's my timestamp. Okay? So that's step 3, and it's pretty simple. So that's done by the initiator. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Step 4. Ooh, we're already down to step 4. Okay, so this is a good one. So basically, Darren Phone will find or find out what the email address is going to be that everybody's going to use. Now, bear with me now. I'm saying email address. And then he's going to, Darren phone, or whoever the initiator is going to send an SMS text to all the friends and family, whoever that he wants to participate. You know, in this case, I'm only participating with a laptop, so it'll be Darren phone sending an SMS text after I get the address, an email address confirmed, to send it to Darren laptop. Okay. So let's go to Darren phone now. Okay, and you notice this right here. This is where we're going to go. This is the email server that we're going to use, the messenger service, or pretend messenger service that we're going to, and I'll explain what Gorilla Mail is all about. It's a super great tool with Tor. It keeps all the anonymity and allows you to have everything automatically disposed of when you're all done with this session of chatter. And no maintenance involved, and works super easy and good. And you can have as many people in this chat session as you want. I call it a chat session, but it's like an email conversation, but same idea. Okay, so let's go to and you'll see the address here, the link. We are going to go to see the phone. I'm gonna show you on the phone, because I'm the initiator. So remember, this is my phone right here. So this is Darren phone, and that's the initiator. So let's go to, now I've already bookmarked it. I bookmarked it. Bookmarks. You can see there's a Gorilla Mail right there. I bookmarked that thing, but you can plug it in and put the Gorilla Mail into your Tor browser. And we're going to go to Gorilla Mail now. This is through Tor browser on your phone, you know, using your data. This isn't Wi-Fi. This is using your data on your phone. And this is what you're going to see. Gorilla Mail, swallow temporary email address, but this, I'm calling it a disposable, an anonymous email conversation. Okay, so now you can see what it starts off with is this email address that it wants. It's kind of like a main address right here, and there's a prefix attachment. I don't know if you can see that real well, but it's got like B, Q, D, X, P, Z, Z, D, or whatever. So what we want to do is add a timestamp to that. So click on it. Okay. You see that still? There. Now we want to go to the end of it. Okay. Now just let me put this away, and then I'll show it to you in a second. You can see there's nothing in there right now. Now basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type in that spot. It's too hard to be holding it and do this. 0301. I'm going to put in that timestamp, right? 0301, 1150, 0235. Okay. Let me just show that to you. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. Look right there. So I used that prefix of what was in there already, and then I added the timestamp, right? I got some weird character in there. Let me just get that out first. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I see. That was supposed to be a 2. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's some weirdness in there. Okay, so there. Right, so it's 2020 0301 1150 0235, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is push the set. Right, so there I did. I pushed the set. You see what it is? And now if you look at this scrambled address here. It says scramble address. Okay, so that address, the scrambled address, well, never mind about that actually. It created the scrambled address. That's the one you're going to use to actually send messages with. But the one that you're going to text is the one we just created. So Darren Phone is now going to grab this whole piece here. Let me highlight it first. You see what I've done now? I've highlighted that whole piece, right? Actually, what I want to do is okay. You actually want the at you actually want the at sharklasers.com in there as well. Now hopefully that's highlighted at all. I'm not sure if it is. Now you want to do a copy. I'm going to do a copy. Text copy to okay, so it said that that it copied it. Now I'm going to Messenger, so I'm gonna come out. See, I'm coming out here, and I'm going to go to my text messenger, which is down here. Right, so I did some examples in here already. Yeah, in there in my test site, it didn't actually put the at skylarkers or larks or whatever it is, lasers.com, but it's probably good to send that as well, you know. So let me just paste this in here first and show it to you. So this is now the initiator, right? Is okay. Yeah, so it when I pasted it in, it didn't actually have the shark lasers. And you probably want to put that in there. Just, you don't have to, but because you always want to default to the first one. But if you put it in, then that way they know for sure you're not using a different domain. Because in Gorilla you can put in a different domain. Okay, so that's what I'm going to text. Okay, so Darren Phone is took that first part from Gorilla, and I'm going to send that to all my friends and family that I want to join me. Okay, you see how simple that is? Okay, so now I'm going to send, whoops, oh shit, I don't want to mess around with this. Okay, so let's go, I'm going to send it. Okay. Came up by saying, don't want to give them your real email. I don't know. It probably came up with that automatically when it came on the other side. Anyhow, it's sent. See, this is what this is the one. Oh, it must have came up with that in the text message. Anyhow, it sent that to me because I'm pretending Darren laptop has a phone separate of this phone. So I sent it to myself, but you would be sending, like I said, that's the part that you want to send. Okay, so now you're sitting, you've got your Tor set up on your Gorilla, on your phone, right? So let's just go there now and see. So we're going to Tor again, right? Right, so we're sitting here already. You can see that's what we texted that to everybody, right? To in this case Darren laptop, but it could be all your friends, family, whatever. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, let's say, Darren laptop, which I showed you already, received a message, right? Text message. And now we're going to go over to the laptop. Darren's going to go to his laptop because he's not going to do it on his phone, let's just say. Okay. And okay, so we're back here on Darren laptop. And so remember what I said, session issuer sends text and addresses to the friends, right? So this is what you sent, right? Darren phone, SMS'd it to everybody, right? Okay, so now we're done now. So now Darren laptop is going to use the same address. This is step 5 now. So all session users like Darren laptop or whoever else, not Darren phone, who was the initiator, has to, because he started it all, needs to go to the Gorilla and use the texted email address and plug it in, right? So let's go to Gorilla through Tor. Remember, it always has to be through Tor. Let me bring Tor up. Okay, so we're at Tor here. Oh, I didn't bookmark it. 1 second, let me grab the IP address again. Oh, there we go. Copy. Go back to Tor. Start a new session here. Paste. Okay, so now Darren laptop is going wherever he lives. Is going, in this case, on his laptop because that's where he wants to do it from. It could be his phone, if he was doing his phone. Okay, so now in the text message, we go here now, see where this guy is, and we're going to change this right up and put that address in. So it's BQ, I think it's Q, DX P Z XPZ ZT, and then what was that timestamp again, remember? Right here. Right? So the one that was SMS to him. I just don't want to type it in right now. So okay. Control V. Alrighty, so there we go. Now we push set. Right here you see this set button. Okay. Just to prove it to you, let's go back. Let's go back to the phone for a second. Okay. Try to memorize what it says. BQDX PZZD and the timestamp, right? So now if we go back to here, there's BQDXZZD. You can see it's the same, right? Okay, well basically we're tied in now. Okay, so now anything that we send to each other, or excuse me, anything that we send, it will display on each other's machines. So we can start our conversation. So here's an example. Let's go back to Darren phone. Darren phone is going to send a message to everybody. So everybody's already here. And just let me get it started here for a second. I'm going to I'm going to compose. So right, compose. Okay, so the to address is always going to be this scramble address. Okay? You're always going to send it to yourself. Okay? You'll understand why in a second. So this scrambled address is the one you're going to use, and that goes into the to part of compose. Watch. Just 1 second. Let me grab it. Oops. Okay. Okay, so if you take a look here, right? So the last few, the last few, if you- the last few. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Oh yeah, you can. Sorry. Uh, yeah. So the last, if I could show it to you, that's the full address, the scramble address. Okay. Now subject matter again. Put whatever you want in. Let's put in something like, hey, hey all. Let's go hey all. Uh, laptop. Laptop. Send me Bitcoin key. Alrighty. See what I typed in there? Okay, so the initiator is saying, hey all. So whoever's connected right now. Laptop. So Darren laptop, because right now there's just us two. Send me Bitcoin key. So basically I'm saying send me a Bitcoin key. You're going to see how we send the Bitcoin key. We're not going to just send it as text though, of course. But you can send it through this as well. Okay, so here we go. So now I'm going to scroll down here. And you can see right there, and I'm going to do a send. Message dispatched. Okay. So it takes a second. There it is. Okay, so you can see that it was sent to, you sent it to yourself. Let's take a look at it. And there it is, right? Laptop, send me a Bitcoin key. You can see, so it showed up on here. Now let's go over to, okay, so if you look here, you can see now that on Darren laptop, which could be anywhere in the world, right? You received that message. So if I click on it, so there you go. It says hey all, right? Hey all. So it said laptop and me Bitcoin key. Oh, send me. It's supposed to be send me Bitcoin key. Laptop, send me Bitcoin key. But anyhow, you can see that, you know, everybody would have received the message, right? So back to inbox. Everybody would have received the message. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a dummy here. Let's go back to the step things that I did over here. Okay, so step 5, right? So all session users, friends, set address name the same. We did that. Now compose a message, right? So step 6 is the last part. So compose message and send using the scrambled address. You always use the scrambled address. Whether Darren laptop or your friends send to, they always send it to the scrambled address, and then everybody's gonna get it, right? Because we're all logged into the same account, same email account on Gorilla. Now, I wanted to make a note, let you make a note. I'm gonna do a quick sample here of sending a key really quick, because you can send attached files, and we're going to send an encrypted or cryptic attachment along with a message, but Darren from the laptop's going to do it, not the initiator on the phone. And just so you understand, like everyone, all will receive the message sent. So anybody logged into that email address on Gorilla that Darren phone sent the SMS text to will be logged into, will receive the message. So we all receive it at the same time. There's only two people doing it. It's only the two that are corresponding, having a conversation. But you could have a party going on if you want, all over the world if you want. I know it's not perfect, but the thing is that just so I wrote right in here, nothing you send is linked to you. Okay, first of all, when you send messages, like not unless you encrypt the message, it can be seen, but nothing can be linked to you. So you are totally anonymous to the public as long as you're using Tor, and only if you're using Tor though, because Gorilla does send the IP address, forwards the IP address in the composed message. So unless you're using Tor, you won't be anonymous. You'll have your IP sent. But if you're using Tor, the message won't be linked to you. So they'll see a message, but they won't know that it belongs to you. So you're totally anonymous as far as the public is concerned. As long as, like you said, you log into Tor first, and then you do this. Okay. Now, what I'm just going to show you quickly here is, you can also send cryptic attachments. And in my previous emails, I showed you how you can do an L-menu encrypted file extension. So like example, I could send a Bitcoin private or public key through this method. It wouldn't know where it came from, right? So now they don't know where it came from. They came from Sweden or someplace. And it would be a private private key that's a paper key, right? So they don't know it came from me. They just know it came from somewhere in Sweden. So let me just show you quickly how to do this. So if you look in the other means, it'll show you how to encrypt, but I'm going to do a simple encryption, even though you wouldn't do a simple one for a private key. But you can do a simple one if you want to encrypt a message that you don't want anybody to even know what you're saying, and do it this way. But let's go here. Okay, so I'm going to come here. Here's something we're going to do. So you'll be familiar with my L-menu exe and this SHA-512 exe if you watched my other videos on encryption. I'm going to click on this guy, and I'm going to get my encryption screen up so you can see it creates this guy here. I click on encryption right there. I don't need that, so I can just close that one down. Here's my encryption piece, and every time you start, like if you notice in here, every time you ever run L-menu exe, it automatically creates an INI file, right? I'm not going to explain the INI file, but the INI file I'm going to just use right now. So let's just double click on it. Okay, so now I'm just going to use this guy right now, and I'm going to go down to the bottom here, and I'm going to say private key, and I'm just going to pretend. I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff in there. But normally you would put the private key in here, right? So again, it could be something all with a mix of stuff. Okay, so here's private let's just say this is a Bitcoin. Oh, you're not seeing it. There you go. So this is the INI that I clicked on. I just went down to the bottom and I added the private key in here. So this is like the Bitcoin, or it could be Monero. Let's go Bitcoin. Bitcoin private key. Just always make sure that you got an empty line at the bottom when you're encrypting something in a file using L menu. You got to have an empty line at the bottom. So just make sure you do a carriage return so your cursor's sitting at the bottom with nothing. Okay, that's all you got to remember. Okay, so here we are. Now I'm just going to save this. So I'm just going to close it. I'm going to save. Now I'm going to rename this guy because it's always sitting as INI at the beginning. TXT. TXT. Okay. So now this guy here, this is really simple. It's L menu. Name of the file. It's got to be spelled right though. It's L menu. Okay, so you see this L menu here is the same name as that I just made the change to. And what I want is that I want a key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a key to encrypt this file. So if you go to this MD5 SHA-1 or whatever, just double click on it. I'm using Windows, so you're going to have to be in Windows to use these tools. Okay, I'm just going to browse over down to the L menu one. Okay, so we're not here. Okay, so there we are. Here's the TXT, right? Selecting the TXT. And basically it created a hash for me, right? So now if I go and copy the SHA 512 to the clipboard, and then I go to my encryption thing and paste it in here and click on encrypt. Okay, I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy. Now you can see there's an L menu encrypted. Now if I open this guy up, there it is. It's all encrypted, right? Okay, so now what I can do is just go to my Gorilla, which is in my Tor, right? I'm just going to go to my Gorilla, my Tor Gorilla. I don't know what you want to call it, right? And I'm going to compose a message. So I'm going to compose a message. Again, I'm going to take this guy, copy, and that goes in my 2. Always goes in your 2. Right? I'm going to browse. I'm going to go grab that key that I created. So, okay, so there's my L menu encrypted. And I'm going to include it. So there it is, right there, you see, L menu, right? Okay, so, hey Darren, oops, Darren phone, oops, your, okay, can't spell it, your private, your Bitcoin private key is in the mail. And I'm just going to laugh, smile, attachment, right? Alrighty, you can see this. So now what we're going to do is just send it. And if we just wait a second, it takes a minute. I think it refreshes every 10 seconds or something. There we go. So you can see it showed up here. It showed up on mine, on Darren's laptop, and will have also shown up on Darren's phone and anybody else that's attached. So you can see right now, right? You can see, hey Darren phone, here's the attachment, the encrypted private key, the message I sent. And now what we're going to do is go to the phone. I'm going to show you on the phone. Okay, so if we go to the phone, you can see the message came through. So I could have been in Mexico, I could have been in freaking London, England, or anywhere, and it would have come to me. So basically, we're having a conversation like this, okay? Now it's totally anonymous, as long as they can see the messages unless you encrypt them like this and send them. Like you can just paste them in, encrypted, and then have the other person decrypt them on the other side. I mean, it's really a little harder to do the encryption part. You can't do it on a phone, so you're gonna have to download the file. Like I'd have to take this file and offload it onto a laptop to take a look at it, right? Because I'm not going to be able to. I can't use Android to decrypt it. But just to show you that the whole process works, and then when you're done, you just quit on Tor, right? But you can communicate with anybody. You can communicate with anyone, right? Basically, you can communicate with anyone around the world. You can send an encrypted private key or whatever you want around the world. The only part that they're going to see is the message itself. They'll see the message itself, but they won't know where it's from, unless you encrypt the message and include it in there encrypted. So the last thing to know is that when you're using Gorilla, is that all the messages, like all these messages, let's just go back here for a second. We go back to the inbox here for a second. So you see these messages in here, right? All these messages, like when you finally just leave, you don't have to even remember to do anything. Because all the messages will be automatically, all the messages and the attachments will be automatically deleted after 1 hour. So after an hour, they just automatically are deleted. So nothing is saved or reused, including the initiated session. You don't want to reuse that timestamp. If you're going to start a new one, you start brand new. Then basically everything's been deleted and there's no trail, other than if you sent something that you wanted to keep. In this case, we sent an encrypted, right? An encrypted downloaded attachment. Well, you're going to take that. You're going to save it, right? So you want to take that attached file and you want to save it. So that's what you would do. Basically, you download it, right, from that email, and then that email with the attachment will disappear later, right? It'll just disappear on its own. And you only got about an hour, right? So you can see that if you're on for a couple of hours or 3 hours, eventually your stuff's going to start disappearing. But who cares? And then basically your whole trail, there's no audit trail, no log, no nothing of you, right? Other than anything that you wanted to save, you have to pull it off at the time that you're doing it. But you could have a party line. You could sit there and have a big conversation. Nothing is collected. This is an open source. You can read about it. Like Gorilla is an open source project. Temporary, totally disposable, and totally anonymous. So here you go, right here. I encourage you to use it. You can have a conversation, and you can have a party line conversation, and you're totally anonymous. Why wouldn't you want to be? And you're not giving out any information. It takes a second. Messenger's kind of slow sometimes. It takes a second too. It's not much more different, and you're not being tracked whatsoever. And all your history and logs and stuff are all gone. So there you go. Another day with Darren, man. I'm trying to help you guys. Use the tools, okay? Use the tools. The more people start using these kind of tools, then frickin' the bad guys go away. So, hey, have a great day. I love you. Hey, just like Jeff Burke says, peace. Take care. Bye.